evening, the Tile Happy Hour. We are having a great time talking about tile tonight. If you don't know where you are, you're hopefully at home or driving or in your car, and you have found us at the Tile Happy Hour, the place where you're going to find all of the great tile and stone industry info. We love it. We love talking about it. And when I say we, I mean me and my good friend John Tedesco. John, good evening. We made it to Tuesday night. It's been a hot summer, and we ain't even got started yet, John.
Love it. Yeah. So summer just started, right? I guess a week ago here in New York, and things have been cranking hot. Really good. Welcome, everybody, to the Tile Happy Hour. Craig and I here broadcasting Tuesday evenings. This is probably an episode, I don't know, 50s. We're in the 50s somewhere, I think, Craig.
No, not
I don't
the
know
50s
if you have a number.
Yet. Episode, I just typed it like an hour ago. I think it's episode like 39, 30 something.
No,
but the great thing about I mean, we've done a few, and if you've noticed, there's a couple of things changed.
Yeah,
we got a new background.
I see the logo. I see the background is different. It's pretty nice. Yeah, we're really excited about tonight's episode because we have an industry icon who is such an important part of our industry, and it's kind of an accessory to the industry, but super, super important, and we're really excited about that. But Craig, what's going on with you in your area?
Well, just trying to stay well, and I've got a summer cold, which I was talking with a colleague the other day. He said, "You're always sick in the summer." And I don't remember that, but maybe I am. Just clicking through the summer, trying to get some classes out of the way. You know, if you listen to the show, you know that I do training all over the country with our tile bar team. We love the tile bar team. And so I did some of that at the very beginning of the summer and had a little vacation with my wife and been sick. And now here we are. How about you, John?
You know what, Craig?
Your summer started and going?
Yeah, things are going really well. And we're excited because things at Tile Bar have been going really well. We have a lot of exciting things happening. And we're glad that you're here. So we're broadcasting on multiple channels tonight, and we're glad that you're here. And I'm excited about our guest. I'd love to bring him on.
Yeah, I made this little thing, so I don't want to waste it. Marcus, and I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. I hope I spelled it right. Because Marcus is an awesome, as you said, industry icon, but it's about the accessories. And, you know, when you think of your outfit, nobody remembers your shirt, but they remember your accessories. And that's kind of where Marcus comes from the world of Blanke. And we want to welcome Marcus to the show. Marcus, we met probably a year or so ago. And I feel like you and I are a lot alike. We're creative, a little silly. And we're so thankful that you're here tonight. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Can we say that? Silly.
Yeah.
Let's be normal. Let's talk. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate it to be part of it and to be here.
Okay, so I butchered your last name. How do you say your last name?
Dworowy. Easy.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
That's easy. Yes.
Easy.
Dworowy.
Just say Marcus with Blanke, then no. or in the industry, a lot of people that say from far away, okay, Mr. Blanke Cares comes. Yeah, sure. So,
and so it's not blank, right? It's Blanke.
Blanke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just like you don't drive a Porsche, you drive a Porsche.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's cool.
It's like the same. Yeah, that's a good one.
Tell them about your accent. It doesn't sound like you were born in New York, so I'm wondering if you were born elsewhere in the world.
Born in Germany, in Iserlohn, actually, one of the favorite cities where a lot of amazing tile manufacturer coming from, right? And born and raised. My background is I'm half Polish and half German. I'm in Germany born, and I came to the States and built my own company, and now I'm working with Blanke.
I'm curious. I know in Italy there's a region, we call it the Sassuolo region of Italy, where a lot of tiles are manufactured, and there's a lot of secondary supportive industries in Fiorano, Modenese, Sassuolo region, and companies that maybe will take a tile from a factory being produced and cut it up into mosaics for them, or maybe making some sort of trim for them, or supplying glazes and raw materials. And you mentioned Germany. Is there kind of an area like that in Germany?
Yes, near me where I come from is actually one of the biggest companies around. I don't want to name them, make some advertising, but everybody knows them. And we also have a tile manufacturers, Deutsche Steingut in Germany, and it's really exciting.
I was in Germany. I visited Villeroy and Bach some years ago, and I know that I don't know if I know that ownership had changed some 10 years ago or so, maybe more. But are you aware they still have factories present in Germany?
That's a good question. I'm looking into it because, in my past, when I was installing tile in Germany before I moved over here, yes, I installed a lot of Villeroy and Boch tile. There's so many vendors, so many companies out there, and I don't even remember seeing them. So it's a good thing to look into it.
Yeah, I'm curious to know that. I know that I think a Turkish company had purchased them, at least a tile division, maybe not the sanitary ware. But I did visit some of their factories. We were in Mettlach, which is kind of this little town that looked like out of a movie, and pretty much everybody in this town worked for Villeroy and Bach in one way, shape, or another. They actually put us up in a little castle that they owned instead of a catering hall. They were entertaining, I think, around 20 the top customers from the U.S. at the time, and this was a while ago, and it was pretty cool. Beautiful people, great food, really good beer. You don't seem to get, I don't know, there's something about the beer where you could just drink a lot of it and still feel good. I don't know how or why. It was just the environment. But love Germany. I'd love to go back. There one day. You mentioned you came on with Blanke. So you're relatively new with Blanke. How long you been there?
I'm actually with Blanke now a little bit over 3 years. So.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What drew you to the tile industry in Germany? Was it a family trade?
Yes, my parents actually had family company in Germany. My father was a setter, my master setter, my mom, she knew everything she ran the business with, and I was born into it. My father always said is like, hey, don't get in the industry because your knees, your back, and everything. He wanted something better. Yes, I had 2 chances. I was good with computers and I was good with tile. But when you see and you're getting part of the passion, when you create something from something, right? And the look on people's faces when you're done and you show them this beautiful bathroom or living space you just created for them, it's something beautiful. So I had to do that.
I think
were your parents, I'm assuming your parents were okay with it after you just kind of convinced them and said, we're going to do it. Did you work with your family long before you came to America? I'm assuming you gave yourself the accreditation of master tile setter. And I know that there are trade schools kind of different than America. I'm assuming you went that route once you made a decision.
Yes, like I said, started tiling when I was young and helped my father on the side, for a little bit of money on the side, we would say. I fell in love with the trade and was working when I was younger and started then, how to name it, is trade school. From trade school, in Germany, you have to get first in trade school to learn the trade. After that, it's like 3.5 years, 3 years, you learn that. Mm-hmm. And it's between blocks, between school, work, and we say in Germany as Bauhof, is you learn it like in between. And after those 3 years, they're testing you after 1.5 years and then 3 years. If you get this done, you're allowed to work as a tile setter and you can name your tile setter, right? But you not can run a business in Germany. Before, there were a lot of changes now. But you need a master degree for actually running a business, right? And to teach people to get everything done. And my parents had it; they did it, and my uncle is also a stonemason. So I mean, history. I wanted to get it done, and I got it done. Work, love what I do, and yeah.
That's great. Is your family
That's
still in the
amazing.
tile business? Sorry.
My father passed away when he was around 46. I mean, he was always working. Yeah, my mom passed away 6 years after, but it's again, I run the business with them and then alone, and had a possibility to come to the United States, and well, I did. I mean, how you say, big shoe to fill, right? Everybody knew us in Germany, my father, and everybody called him by the name. It's like, hey, not the last name, right? Everybody knew him as like, hey, this is Rudy, right? Everybody knew Rudy. So was kind of nice to see that. And you know how the people are. Oh, is his son taking over? Is he gonna do the same thing? It's like big shoes to fill, right? And it worked good. It was all good, but like I said, I got the chance to go to the United States of America, and I did, and built my business up, and become known in the industry here. Try to help where I can, and after so many years in the industry, Blanke Corporation came to me and offered me a job and position, and yeah, I couldn't resist.
I admire that. I have this similar background in sense where my family's been in the industry, most of my life, and I've been involved in it. What I had a lot of my initial interactions with tile setters were tile guys out of Italy. My father's from Italy, and he networked a lot. And one day I had this tile setter with a German accent come into my tile store, and I was blown away about his skills. Like, a lot of the tile installers from Italy are great, but they learned it and they figured it out. But this guy had like all these skills that I never saw. He took a tile and made a circle in it just using like a hammer, and then he did some things with tile nippers that other guy. And he's like, no, you have to do this to pass the test. You have to do this to get your certification. Yeah. Where depending where in America you're talking about, but a lot of municipalities, getting certified is literally just registering that I'm a tradesperson, and they want to collect a fee to give you a number. Outside of electrician and plumbers, where there's aptitude tests and things like that. But there are a lot of places in the U.S. where you don't have that. I know, for example, Florida, there's more of that accreditation. But there are a lot of states where you're just a tile guy and you just get a business card and you're in business, and no business skills, and doesn't mean they're bad guys or bad business people. But I really admire Germany and other countries or municipalities that do that, because you have to interact with clients. You have to act professionally. There's obligations to the governments, taxing and insurance and coverage, and then the actual technical skills that you learn. Was there anything in your training or in the training, being someone's an apprentice, that's like the milestone that you have to learn how to do something specific? Does anything stand out to you that's really tricky, that is a test?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, in apprenticeship, labor school, you learn actually everything in mud bed. You set a tile in mud. How to say, mud is the future, right? Some people here. So yeah, no, mud bed, and I carried a lot of mud and did all that, and then, I mean, like I said, 3.5 years after this, you a tile setter, but to run a business, you need a master's degree. So this is another 3 years, and it costs a lot of money. And in this 3 years, actually, they teach you how to run a business. They teach you bookkeeping. They teach you a lot of other stuff. Where some other people will actually have the benefits here. I mean, yes, the NTCA and the CTI. I mean, there's so many organizations that are doing a fantastic job here to show people and to give them the knowledge. And I just came back from NTCA training, and I mean, it's something. It's really good. People should take advantage of the programs out there, and should learn every day and suck everything out like a sponge, all the knowledge they can get. I always say, if this is something you love, what you do, you never stop learning. It's like, it's not work. It's like you do something you love, and that's what I'm doing.
That's and John and I talk about that all the time. How we love the industry, and that's why we don't necessarily get paid to do this podcast, but we love talking about it. We love talking about with you and that coverings and just sharing all those things, and it doesn't feel like work. And that's what I try to teach my kids: find something you love, and then you don't ever have to feel like you're working at all. And we know, John doesn't work at all.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, no.
I can see the bar behind him.
That's right.
Exactly. Guilty. So speaking of backgrounds, you got an interesting background. I like that brick wall.
Yeah, the brick wall. I had to put something on the back. If not, you would see my office. But no, the brick wall is actually, it's the Mehrwerkstatt in Germany. We have our facility in Germany, Blanke, where actually we have we show people, train people, and all that. And that's from our Pausenraum. It's like the hangout room. And I liked it so much that I called them and say, hey, I need a picture of that, because I would love to use it in all our Zoom and all the videos, because I see they're using it. Why not using it? Make it all same, right?
Absolutely.
That's great. I thought it was a random picture from Google, so I'm glad has some certificates. Well, we're talking about the industry, we're talking about the tile, and Blanke comes in a real important is a real important part of the tile industry, because it serves a very specific many different technical purposes, and sometimes an aesthetic purpose, right? And we'd love to know, Blanke, like, why does it exist? Like, how did it start? Was there an industry before you were in the tile part of it, or was this like straight out of the gate involved in the tile or stone industry?
Here in the United States, or in general?
No, in general. So I know you've been around 50, 60 years, I think, right?
Over 75 years, we actually in the game. So
wow.
We started as a metal bending business in Germany. And
metal bending. Okay.
Metal bending, metal business, right? So there's some parts we doing for the auto industry, we do for aerospace, we do for, you name it, trampolines. There's some lot of little parts. If you open your car, there's a chance you have a piece of Blanke in it, like where the trunk is this little ring form thing, or by the door or by the hood. There's some chances you have one of our pieces in the car, right?
Wow.
Or we do so many things. It's in Europe, not only tile. So yeah, but mostly in the United States, tile.
In Europe, so metal bending is a service. It's something that you're doing. Are you procuring the metals as well and offering a finished product, or is someone just sending you their raw materials and you're working it, like fabricating it?
We have the raw materials. We're getting it, and then we also fabricating our own trims. Everybody are known by another company. I don't want to name the color, right? We actually made trims for them. We were like in the business, and more I don't want to say into it, but people know us for that. And not only tile trims, but there's so many things, underlayments, heating systems. We do drains. We do so many things in Europe about it. It's just the tip of the iceberg what we have here.
That's interesting how an accessory company, and yours is not unique. You are unique, but that seems like all accessory companies are diving down those different roads, where they started out as maybe like you did as a metal bending company, and now are having waterproofing systems and underlayment systems, and that's becoming a trend. They're setting material companies that make powders that are making metals, and there's a lot of lines being blurred. How have has Blanke addressed that? Do you see that as a concern, or are y'all just going to keep doing the same thing, just working in different directions?
Let me say this, like our trims, for example, right? We make them in house, so it's all Blanke who makes them. We don't hire companies to do our materials, right, or our products. So everything what comes from what you're getting here in the States, it's actually shipped out of our warehouse here in Atlanta, and we getting it from our parent company. I mean, our company Blanke in Germany. So it's not by some third party or fourth party. So
yeah, I've seen a lot of companies. There's just a couple of big guys, right? And you predate some of that as far as being in business. But there's some little guys here and there, and yeah, I feel that they're farming some stuff out and just having stuff made and rebranding, and don't have the quality control that you do, because your products are just spot on. I mean, everything is just perfect.
I mean,
I feel.
Blanke is a family business. It's a third generation, and Mr. Blanke is really particular. Well, I mean, I met him a couple of times, and he's really particular. There's really quality control we have up there. If you guys have ever the chance to stop by in Iserlohn at Blanke, stop by. They will welcome you and show you around. And
will there be beer? Will there be beer involved?
Of course.
Will there be some beer and some schnitzel? Yeah, then we're coming.
I'm thinking we just need to plan a trip, is what it sounds like.
Guys, let's do this way.
Yeah.
Maybe we're gonna go next. Maybe we're gonna go next year together, and then we combine this with a trip to Munich Oktoberfest. So you have the schnitzel, you have the beer, you have everything.
I love it. All right.
That sounds like a plan.
I want you to think about something, Marcus.
Yes.
Why in your room that you do your social events, think about the color pillows that you have there. I don't understand that thought process. And while you're thinking about that, John, I want us to thank our sponsors for today. We can't do this show without having some support. And if you know John and I, you know that we're a big fan of a certain tile distributor. So we'll thank them and run this clip. If you don't know it, Tile Bar is a great part of the Tile Happy Hour, and I hope you can hear me in the music. It is really loud, but they not only do tile, they have LVP and also many other things coming from our warehouses across the country in Arizona and New Jersey. We're just launching a lot of bath products, but what we're known for is the most unique and the most exciting tiles in the industry. And the great thing is we're partners with some of the best partners in the industry, those being Blanke, Latticree, and others. We'll get back to our conversation with our favorite metal edge vendor, and that's Blanke with Marcus today. Thanks, Tile Bar, for supporting the Tile Happy Hour. Marcus, thanks for being a part of Tile Bar. Also, you weren't. I met Christoph a couple of years ago, and when I came on the Tile Bar, part of my job was to find things that married up together that we could create a complete project with. In our industry, there's that one company that everybody thinks of, but I saw something different in Blanke, and when I met Christoph, it kind of sealed the deal that you guys could feel that need for where we were at the time. At the time, we had a vendor that was just very small and really didn't have the capabilities of supporting what we needed, and you guys did. So we're thankful for your partnership and all the things that you guys have done for us today.
You know what, Craig? Just want to think about why the product exists, and I know there's many different items that they produce. And
be clear on which product.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's non-metal items, right? but the core product initially, at least, are the metal trims. And why does that even exist? And in Italy and Germany, a lot of places in Europe, they have skilled tile men, right, installers, and a lot of times they're tiling. Let's say you're tiling a bathroom. They're going up to the ceiling. You don't need a trim piece because you're going up to the ceiling. To have an inside corner, no problem. Outside corner, I know in Italy they call it jolly. I don't know what it's called elsewhere, but they miter the back of tiles, and especially when it's ceramic, they used to miter it. They really didn't initially have a great need for a trim piece, but when they did, particularly for the U.S. market, my dad was one of the pioneers in importing high-end Italian tile in 1976 into New York. And, having a bullnose, a cap, or ceramic trim was imperative when we were bringing product in. I became the buyer at an early age, going to the Chasai show in Bologna, and having a matching bullnose or coordinating bullnose was the criteria I had on top of the American colors that we were looking for. So if you had a ceramic wall tile, you'd have a ceramic trim. Then somewhere along the line, and a lot of the factories hated making that because there's dye light issues and there's just such a challenge. And in Europe, they really rather not make trim. Miller and Bach, for example, they didn't make trim. They glazed the edge of their field tiles randomly. So if you had an 8x10 tile, you go through a box, you'd find enough tiles with the glaze actually rolled over the edge. So that kind of was suitable. And then when they made a line specifically for the U.S., they made one line that was like a 3-inch by 8-inch trim. But things have evolved where now there's large formats porcelain tiles. And although you can make a bullnose with porcelain, it's sometimes not even cost effective to have all these different SKUs. And aesthetics have streamlined. So hence comes the metal L trim. I'm sure there's different names in the industry, but pretty much when you look at an edge of a tile, say it's 3/8 of an inch thick, the edge of the tile may be exposed because you're going part of the way up, or you have an outside corner, and you want to kind of finish that edge because there's the under part of it may not be, the side may not be aesthetically pleasing, and that's where the L trim comes in, and then there's different variations of that for transitions, for floors, and I feel that has really allowed the tile industry to flourish because factories then could just put out products. And since that technique of using the metal trim as an edge gives the factory, it kind of gives the factories an out. Well, we don't need to produce a trim. We're just going to produce another line of tile. We're going to produce another line of tile. And they do that. And it's become very acceptable to use a metal trim. Aesthetically, it also protects the edge, right? If you had a ceramic cap, Marcus, it could chip if you have like an outside corner where the metal, I'm assuming metal, that's probably one of the reasons this was designed, right? If in a floor piece, if you have transition from one room to another, you kick a piece of metal as opposed to the edge of a tile or a transition piece. Do you find there's a shape that, is the L trim 50% of your trim business, or is it 10%? Do you have any insight into that?
The insight of it, what I have is, and I just talked with Chris about it. Our metal trim is a big part of our business, but it's also Blanke Permat. So underlayment is our, let's say, our superstar in underlayments, and it's taken off really, really high, and it's a really, really great product, unique product.
Can you walk us through like the purpose of the Permat and the construction of it?
Yeah, pretty simple. As a test setter, if you have a floor, right? So you're going to install tile. Now my question is always, what kind of tile are you installing? You're installing natural stone, you're installing penny tiles, penny rounds, or panel tiles, 4x8 panel tiles. There's so many differences in underlayments you can use. In most of them, you have to actually strengthen up the subfloor, like natural stone or big panel tiles, right? Because now we don't talk anymore about uncoupling. Now we talk about deflection issues. And Blanke Permat, what comes in the sheet, see it as a rebar, the rebar for the floor. and gives you the purpose. I mean, it's structural strengthening up the subfloor. You can install any size tile on it, from a penny tile to a large format panel tile. Comes in sheets. You have no rollback. It's so easy to cut. I mean, I just came from a training. People were blown away first time having it in the hand and installing it. I mean, it doesn't get easier, and has no hollow sounds when you walk over. I mean, I had some customers in Chicago here. I mean, my business is still existing, and my guys in the field, they had some other membranes installed. I don't want to say the name of it. And people were complaining when they walked, like a woman with shoes, high heels, or guys with boots over, that they heard some hollow sounds through the waffle effect. And yes, with ours, you don't have that. So,
and I see that you say rebar metal.
Yeah. So technically, the middle part of it is like a rebar. It's a 3-layer membrane. So you have the fleece, the rebar in the middle, and then you have all mesh, what connects all the pieces together, what becomes like one monolith floor. So, and it's only 1/8 of an inch thin.
Oh.
So no.
And Marcus,
That's amazing.
After you set it, do you have to use self-leveling, or can you use thin set right over top of it?
You self-level and do all the prep work first. Afterwards, Blanke Permat comes always directly underneath the tile,
Directly underneath the tile. So you would thin set it to the floor, your substrate, correct?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And then you thin set your tile on top of it.
You fill it, and you thin set it on. You fill it and trowel it at the same time. We want to thresh and fresh because of the 3 different layers. They're in a different direction. The motor will actually anchor itself through all the 3 layers and will become super strong. So you will not get it off. The complaints, when I get some complaints about Blanke Permat, is how can I remove it? Because I have a hard time to remove it.
Is any sort of thin set, any limitations on mortar?
All our products, we want that you install it with an what's the name? A premium modified thin set. That is based.
So just a 118.7, I think, is a polymer, normal polymer modified mortar.
Yes,
118.3.
Exactly, and that's the only one you can install on single layer plywood. Like I said, from a penny to a panel tile. No need of a second layer.
So you're saying if someone has a plywood floor, you would trowel on a thin set, then unroll this on top of that, and then you're ready to tile after that, right?
Prep the subfloor. If it's plywood, we always say in Germany, prime the subfloor. Reason why wood gets wet, wood expands, or it can swell up. So that's my recommendation, right? And after, the minimum recommendations is 3/4 inch tongue groove out plywood and 16 to 24 on center. On natural stone, you want to have 19 on center. So
I tell you that.
So what are the technical?
The amazing part of this is everybody loves Durock, and it's cement board. It did revolutionize the industry. It got you away from carrying all that mud for walls. The problem with is a lot of people that didn't understand the product thought that it added structure to whatever they put it on, whether it was a floor or a wall, but it did not. It had no structural capabilities whatsoever. What it did is it gave you a good bondable surface, and it did a great job at that. But it was deceiving to a lot of people when they would tell me, "Well, I've got a layer of plywood, but I'm going to put Durock on it." Well, that doesn't work. It's not, they wouldn't believe me, and then their floor would crack. So this is so unique, and I'm assuming you're selling tons of this stuff.
A ton, yeah. And every day more. I mean, every training, there's some people that have no knowledge about it. And like I said, the last training, people were blown away and just ordered. I mean, unbelievable.
So why would someone want this? Like, what are the deliverables of this? Like, what are you gaining by using this material, or what problems are you solving, or both?
Let me say it this way. If I'm a tie setter, I carry one bag of tin set, one kind of bag. Okay. I don't have to have a special mortar for my underlayments, or one mortar for, of course, natural stone is different, but I can carry one. And what is not that expensive, right? I will save money. Same thing with not the need of installing of a second layer of plywood, what gives you time is money, right? And the versatility. I mean, let's say from a 50 square feet powder room, if I have to bring it up a second level, if I have to install a second layer of plywood, if I have to install Durock / something else, I will be around 6 hours with cleanup and with the setup and everything. With Blanke Permat, I can get this done in 45 minutes, and I'm done.
Wow.
How is the reception? Yeah, how is the reception from the architectural engineering community? Are they starting to come around to being able to specify it? I would think they'd be scared.
No, we're working on it. I mean, the architects I talked with, even right now in New York, I just came from a New York tour. They're really open to it and want more info to it. I mean, I understand there's maybe some products people never hear about it, and like every day there's always new products. Yeah, that's why we're giving the trainings, and we show them what our products are made of and what is the purpose of it.
So you talked about the time savings and the efficiencies that using the Blanke Permamat brings to the market. But what about the end user? They have a floor, and now they have a floor with this Permat. How different is that strength-wise or flexibility-wise? Like, what performance additives are existing because of using this system?
The system, we had it tested with the Robinson floor test, and there's 2 other companies that were tested. So technically, just tested a square piece one by one, installed tile over it, and simulated a woman heel. Okay, they pushed over the tile till it explode. So there's some industry manufacturers there compared it to. They were failing by 1.8, 1.7, 1.9 Newton per square inch. We actually got up to 7.5 Newton per square inch.
Wow.
So what is the strongest on the market, what is rated for commercially, industrial, and residential. So perfect for elevators, perfect for tiny houses. I mean, let me know. I'm there.
Yeah, I definitely see this. I definitely see that as an elevator solution. I get that question a lot. Hey, because nobody thinks about
an elevator. What challenges does an elevator bring to a tile installation, Craig?
It's made for carpet. Most of the elevators, when they pre-make them, they make them for carpet. So they have a recess that's, if it's a ½ inch, you're lucky. And then the architect or designer decides they want to put a 3/4 inch natural stone in there. Well, it's a metal pan, and that metal pan most of the time has some movement to it. In a car that moves, and it's not an ideal situation. So I've had many arguments with elevator people telling me, you got to drop the pan because we've got to put 2 layers of plywood in this thing. Well, we can't do that. That's 3 inches, this and that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And so those are the arguments as a contractor I would have. And I would say, well, put carpet in. I don't know what to tell you to do. But if you've got a solution where they've got enough room to put the plywood needed, because I'm assuming you wouldn't want to put it directly on a metal plan that flexes, you put the plywood on it and put this, sounds like an easy solution.
Yeah. Just yesterday I was with a architectural design firm. working on a huge multifamily. In the lobbies, they specified 3/4-inch natural stone, and they now realize that's too thick for the elevator, and I wasn't involved in that spec. I'm involved in other parts of the building. And yesterday we were scrambling to find a 3/8-inch limestone to put on the elevator floors because of that exact scenario. So yeah, that's spot on. Does it add any flexural strength, or if there's some movement, does that help the system at all?
It's a multi-purpose mat. It will help with uncoupling, decoupling, and deflection issues. Yeah, I mean, one of the best out there.
I believe it. I really do. So Permat. So that's, when you think of Blanke, when I think of Blanke, immediately thinking metal trim, and for a good reason. And now we know more about the Blanke Permat. Is there anything else, any other products that are just recently launched, or that you're excited about, that you feel you're kind of going down the road of growth? Is there anything in your system?
Always. We never ending. We never stop. Yeah, I mean, we have more than Blanke Permat. We have Blanke Secumet. We have now our new launched products, Blanke Triboard. And Triboard is an uncoupling, crack isolation, and sound detonating board. What comes also in the sheet is 1/8 of an inch thin, perfect for multifamily houses.
I want to know about that. That is cool. Craig, do we have that? Is that live on your website yet?
I don't think it's live on the website yet. I can
send you a picture, Craig, with you at coverings if you want that.
Yeah, that's right. I saw it at coverings, and John, you tell me why you think we need it. And but when we were walking around,
well,
it looks like a really great solution.
Yeah, it addresses a lot of things that come up in a construction site or a particular installation. And Craig, you probably get a lot of this because you're the technical director for Tile Bar, and people need to address some of those points that he mentioned. But what is the format exactly? Can you repeat the format of the material?
It's a 2x3, 1/8 of an inch thin. The benefit also of the material is that it is lightweight. It doesn't smell like rubber. Okay. It is simple to install. It's not cork. Doesn't fall apart. So a lot of people are totally interested in that product. And I mean, there's nothing.
Give us a visual. It's a stiff board, or is it something unroll? What do you mean by?
It's a board. It's a 2x3 board. 2x3 inches.
2x3 board.
The pictures and send them over to Craig right now, so you can show.
That would be great.
You. Yeah, of course. I'll work on that.
So they come in a 2-foot by 3-foot board. They don't sound heavy, and without giving us any trade secrets, what's it made out of?
Fiber. It's made out of fiber. It's compressed fiber.
So when I was there, John, it reminded me of a sound panel. Like you're trying to, like a sound panel in a studio.
Right, you like a lot of little fibers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you look at a soundboard, you see like a lot of little fibers. That's fibrous and very. I did have a sample of one of those sound deadening samples in my hand recently, and it was rigid. I mean, it was really hard and strong. It wasn't intended for a tile. It was. You
saw it when we were there in coverings. You just weren't paying attention.
I was not paying attention. That's one of my
as you speak.
Now, do you guys already have stock of that,
Yes,
Marcus?
it's just arrived.
You're already shipping that.
Yes, we just got it in Atlanta. So let me see. I got that here.
So what are the key benefits of using that product?
It's lightweight, easy to install, doesn't smell. It's not heavy, and hang on, I just clicked something wrong here.
Sure. Craig, do you think there's any applications for the wall, or is this a floor product only?
It's a wall and floor.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What would the benefits be on the wall?
For example, if you have, are you getting me on that? I can Okay, for example, if you have a heating system on the wall, right, towel warmer,
Okay.
you could actually, or on the floor. Blanke triboard is also, how you say it in English, has no thermal break. So if you would install that first, like I said, it's a crack isolation, uncoupling, and is a sound detonating product. So if you would install that first on the floor and put a heating system on top of it, the floor stays longer warmer. Okay, that's another thing. And it's the same thing you could do with walls, right? Bathrooms, I mean, who
That's
doesn't want
interesting.
to have something like that? You want to have above you in multifamily buildings, you want to hear the kids running around,
So here's a left field question. Can it
Yes.
use for other than tile, like a LVT product or some kind of, or is it specifically a tile stone product?
It is not only a tile stone product. You can install it and install LVP on top of it. I mean, it's a sound deadening product, right?
Right.
Also, it helps the substrate on the floor. If you can glue LVP down, it's manufacturer depending which glue and which works on it. But it's again the answers we're working on that right now to figure out, give recommendations out if. And like I said, Germany, it's different than the United States. So, we do some testings also.
Yeah. So if you have a product that you want to put down, tile of stone, of course, or something other than that, if it's something that's meant to be glued down to something, well, there shouldn't be a product sticking, shouldn't be a problem finding a product to stick to the flooring material. You just got to make sure you find the right mix to stick to the triboard. And that it stays. That's pretty cool. But I like the sound deadening. The sound deadening. Perks of that product, because there are a lot of in the industry that don't offer that, and I think that's pretty cool.
Do you got a picture?
That's a big deal in high-rise condos. The concrete floored condos.
It absolutely is. I had a recent situation where that was an issue. We were going to use a product that had a acoustical properties to it, acoustical deadening properties. Then we had to switch to a glue down, and then we were going to add an acoustical, sound deadening kind of roll product. And there was issue with handling it and gluing it down because it kind of wrinkles, and you're putting glue on a thin material and trying to glue it down, and then put another tile product on top of it. And your product would have been potentially amazing for that, because those problems wouldn't have presented themselves, because you have a rigid product. Do the boards need to be any kind of sealant between each board?
We have our self-adhesive tape. We're going to tape them afterwards after they're installed. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's really simple. That's great. You don't have to trowel anything on. That's really good.
Yeah, you trowel them on the floor. You trowel them to the floor, but
trowel them to the floor, but you don't need to trowel the seams. You can just tape it.
That's correct.
With a roll. Well, that's pretty cool. And didn't you say before that heated floors are kind of Blanke's one of your shining stars? Tell us about that.
I don't say anything to that. We have in Germany, we have some more systems out there. Yes.
They're working on, according to Christoph, I'll let you off the hook, Marcus.
Thank you.
According to Christoph, they're working on the engineering being switched over and all of the electrical things. They say they're close. That's what I hear.
Okay. All right.
So
I must have been thinking about it.
I've seen the products, and if the products are here, revolutionary. It's amazing. What they can done, you have to think about this way. Blanke products have one thing in common. Okay? They're all easy to install. They're all different. They're all unique in certain ways. So stay tuned.
Well,
so it sounds like Blanke is really successful in making the installation of products more efficient and cost effective. Number one, and number two, give the end user a better result, something stronger, or some other properties like the sound, deadening properties, or if there's some movement in the floor. So kind of sounds like two things. It's one thing where the installer gets the benefit, and then the end user gets the benefit of a better end product. And that's a winning combination.
Well, before we go, I want you to tell me about Blanke Cares. That is how I figured out who you were. I had heard your name because I've known Blanke for a while, and tell me how that came about and what that means to the company and to you.
Pretty simple. 3 years ago, my first coverings. Me, Christoph, we standed there and we worked on something, and I said, hey, we need a hashtag. When we're posting pictures, when we going out there, we need something for our pictures, right? We need to be found, our slogan. And I had actually our one of our catalogs in our hand, and I was reading through, and I see more and more that it showed that Mr. Peter Blanke and the Blanke family, especially when you meet them in person, they really care about the installer. They really care about the people out there. That's the main thing. And I said to myself, there's actually, you know what? There's no better opportunity to show to the people and put it in the word. Blanke Cares. And yeah, I mean, people know. I mean, we answering fast questions. And I go on above and beyond, even if it's not my job in certain things, but I wanted to help the people out there because, again, I'm an installer. I know what they're going through. And sometimes having this helping hand, it's more worth than, getting a free shirt or something else.
Agreed. And I think that's why the partnership between Tile Bar and Blanke just seems to me that fits so well, is because that's such a part of my passion and vision. Is, I was an installer for many years, and I just took advantage of any time to be educated, because I wanted to help my guys that are on their knees every day. How can they install something easier and better and get better quality without a lot more work? And I saw that in you guys when I met you and started going through all of the things that we could partner together on. And I love that story. I think that story's great. I've met Peter. I don't know him, but I've just met him. And I love the Blanke story. I think your team does a great job on, and you're out weekly, you and Chris, and sometimes you're able to drag Christoph with you, and teaching people about how to do things. And I think that's important. I think those guys that are installing the products that we sell and really making artwork out of the things that we have in our showroom, they don't get the credit they deserve. They a lot of times get more headaches, and I think you guys do a good job of honoring that. So thanks for doing that for the community in the industry.
Come on,
yeah, we have a great partnership with your firm, and I see that our kind of values align. And Craig does a great job. He cares and trains the industry, trains our staff, the Tile Bar staff, but always open to questions, always open to helping people in the industry. Through our podcast, the Tile Happy Hour, we welcome people to comment, to send the question live, send the question after a show has aired. And we get comments, we get questions all the time through multiple channels. And when somebody says, why are we representing the Blanke products? And it's because Blanke cares, and we care who our vendors are, and we feel that it's a good collaboration to deal with such a great company and deal with you, Marcus. You're there, and your team and the ownership we know support us, but support the industry in general, support the organizations that support the industry, TCNA and NTCA. Those are important parts of our groups, and representing at the trade shows. So one big happy family. Our products are great. We're in a really nice industry, and we're dealing with products that are mostly permanent, right? Unless you want to take something out.
That's right.
So you want to put good products out there. You want it to look good, and you want it to perform. And if you want to change it out, it's by choice, 10, 20, 30 years later or 100 years later, not because it's failing. So that's why it's good to align ourselves with the best people and the best products. And that's what the Tile Happy Hour is about. We do this, Craig, we do this every Tuesday, and we bring some really awesome people on like Marcus. And if you're out there and have a comment about our show, have a question for Marcus, you could reach out to Craig and I, and we'll be glad to relay information to him, get it back to you. Or if it's just a question about tile, about installation, products, anything with ceramic, porcelain, metal, LVT, let us know. So this has been really great. Marcus, thank you for your time and sharing your information with us. And, hopefully we'll talk some more. Craig, what do you think about this whole partnership with Blanke? Where do you think we're going?
Oh, it's great. I John, you don't know this, but Blanke is coming with me to Inwood in October. And
wow, all right.
We just finished up a Tile Nerd Army contest in the Tile Nerd Army. Let's see. There you go. We just had a contest, and our team set some tiles a couple weeks ago. Well, in October, Marcus and the team are going to be with us at Inwood, and we're going to put together another little contest that specifically is going to deal with some of Marcus's products. So you're going to see some collaborations coming between now and then. I love working with these guys. They're fun to be around. Marcus likes wings and beer, which is probably my favorite food. I can say you like wings and beer, right?
Let me see how many steak you can eat. You have to switch it up, right?
Yeah, that's true. And when we're in Inwood, we'll let John took me to some. I was there. This is so off the so. I was there last week. John took me to this rundown Italian restaurant that all the letters weren't even on the sign. It was, they didn't accept credit cards. It was cash only. So that's the places when I go to New York that I get taken to. But
how amazing was that? Old school. You walked in, you thought it was 1975.
I thought people were going to be smoking inside.
It was close. And then we took you, to a similar place, a Greek place, not far there, right? Remember we did that. So yeah, right. I'm all about the food first, tile second. That's what we're all about. Well, folks, this is the Tile Happy Hour. We love to talk tile and food and beer. So I just like to wish everybody peace, health, and happiness.
Thanks again, Marcus. And let's everybody keep learning together. Tile the world.